Hi, this is Barbara from Butter and Baggage, and today I'm going to talk about some basic techniques for making cinnamon rolls. The one I'm using today is one of my favorites. It's peachy cinnamon rolls, but you can use any type of ingredients inside your cinnamon rolls, blueberries or brown sugar or pecans, anything that you like. But this same technique will work with almost any cinnamon roll. So what you're going to do is start with flour. I always use white lily flour. I think it really goes great with any kind of bread. And then your yeast. And so your dry yeast is in your flour. And then what you're going to do is add a mixture of milk, butter, and sugar that you've warmed on the stove. And it's kind of the baby bottle trick. You don't want it to be too hot or too cold. And so you kind of dip your finger in and you just feel, is it too hot? If it is, you're going to stir it around a little bit more and let it cool, because you don't want it too hot so that it kills the yeast. And mine's actually a little hot, so I'm going to let it sit for a minute. Okay, let my butter and milk cool down just a little bit so it won't kill the yeast. And then I'm just going to gradually pour it in here with the dough hook. It's all in. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to add eggs to this. I'm going to add 3 eggs. And then we're just going to let it mix on low for 6 minutes. Alright, we're back, and Natalie says that I say too much, so I'm not going to say anymore, no more ums. Our dough is ready. It's been mixing for 6 minutes. I want to show you the consistency, because a cinnamon roll dough is going to be stickier than a bread dough. It's not going to be, you're not going to be able to really hold it in your hand. It's going to be all sticky. All right, all yeast doughs need to rise, and in North Carolina in the summertime, the heat index is 103. Really easy to let this dough rise outside, which is what I would normally do. But I want to show you the technique for when it's not 103 degrees and humid outside where you are. If you will just put a glass bowl of water in the microwave and bring it to a boil. That will make it nice and steamy and warm in the microwave. And then you're going to put your dough that you've covered with plastic wrap, put it in there, and you're not going to turn the microwave on. Obviously it's a metal bowl. But you're just going to let it sit in there, and it's going to be all nice and warm and steamy. All right, my dough is risen. I put one in the microwave and I put one outside in the 103 degree temperature. They both turned out beautifully. And the reason I made 2 is that it's just a little bit of trouble, and they freeze perfectly, and so as long as you're making a mess, you might as well make a double batch. So you might want to put a little bit of flour on your hands, and then you're just going to turn the dough out onto a flour cutting board. I'm going to make this into an 11 by 18 rectangle, and I'm kind of an exact person, so I have my ruler here to measure, and that will make sure that you have nice even cinnamon rolls that are all the same size. A lot of cinnamon roll recipes have you melt the butter and pour it on top of the dough, but it really gets messy and it's hard to roll up that way. This recipe you use butter, obviously, and brown sugar, but you don't melt it. You just let it come to room temperature, and you beat it in an electric mixer with brown sugar and some cinnamon, and then we're going to spread it over the top. All right, I've spread the butter, cinnamon, sugar, brown sugar, cinnamon, and flour mixture on top. And if you just want a plain cinnamon roll, you just stop right here. But who wants a plain cinnamon roll? I am going to add some toasted pecans, and then obviously my peaches. Okay, now it's time for the peaches. And all right, here's the scary part. Not hard, you really can't mess this up. But what you're going to do is you're going to pull up the outside layer, and you're going to turn it over. And what you want to try to do is make a tight roll, because if it's loose, then you're going to have gaps in your twirls of your cinnamon roll, and that would be awful. We can't have gaps. So you just go slowly. There's really nothing bad that can happen. If you do have gaps, or if you get a hole, or you roll it too much, it's still going to taste the same. It's just how they might look. So you can see this is just going fine. Some of my pizzas are probably going to squeeze out at the edge. That's okay. You can see I kind of just like pull it in a little bit each time I roll it. And now I'm going to cut that into 12 pieces. Okay, they're out of the oven and perfect. I put a little glaze on top. Some people don't like glaze, so I've got some without glaze and some with. So you can get the full recipe on my blog, Butter and Baggage, and don't forget to sign up for the newsletter to get all my new recipes and tips. Thanks.